for WhatsApp group for the updates regarding this class?
Yes, we have this no WhatsApp group. You
Actually,
ask.
I am not in that, so
See, actually, I have given that responsibility to Minal madam. So she will,
okay.
you can, like after the class, Mrs. Minal, you can help Miss Kitty. I think we have
Maybe I'll
this
just
what.
send my number in the chat of this group only. She will
Hmm.
add. It will
Yes,
work.
yes. Okay. So we
Uh,
have made a group.
Madam,
Okay. Uh,
Mr. Baninder was admin of this group.
oh, अच्छा अच्छा Mr. Baninder was
So,
admin. ना? ठीक है.
Kirti
No,
madam, you can contact Mr. Baninder. Uh,
but उनका
or
number
you
उनके
share
पास
your
नहीं
हाँ,
है
number.
ना?
No, Kirti, you share
yes.
your number now in this chat so
Okay,
that
ma'am.
he can add you in the group. Or I will
Okay.
write
Yes,
down your number and
yes, yes.
for
Yes,
That you
ma'am.
can do.
ask
Hmm.
him
Yeah,
to
that
add.
will
Huh?
be okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Thank you.
yeah,
Okay, so we have made a group at the very initial, first day, and whatever information, suggestions, you can put it over there. Plus, your like registration for the examination. Then your when is the last date for submission
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the all those are being shared. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so
And any update upon the books which have to be sent by IGNU to our homes? Like I haven't received the parcel yet, also for
see,
the hard copy book.
that I'm not exactly aware of the parcel, but you can
Okay.
get everything on the website. Okay, you have to just
Yeah.
download TS-1. So unit wise, you can download all the books. Okay,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
so you wait because sometimes it takes time to come from IGNO, but in the
Okay.
meantime, you can download all the books and all. Okay,
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
okay. Tithi, you are there. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. I'm back, ma'am. I'm so sorry. We had Durga Puja and our
Yes,
shift
yes, no
in
issue.
hotel was
I
very, very
just,
tough.
wanted to wish you Shubho Vijay.
Shubho
That is the
Vijay,
reason.
ma'am, you are very
I
busy in the
do.
hotel actually. This is a very peak time.
Oh, you are also very
Yeah,
busy,
in
huh?
the hotel,
So you
yes.
work. You were.
In the Taj, yes. We
Okay,
are
okay.
very busy.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you did. I mean, you were
Yes.
busy in work basically.
And
So you
not
didn't get
strictly,
the
ma'am,
time to
but I
enjoy,
just
huh?
have off today, from today. Today and tomorrow I've got off after so
Okay,
long.
okay, okay, okay. Good. ठीक है चलो. Now I'll start my with PPTs and all, huh? So is the PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, in fact, we start like TS-1 has 35 units, and I mean, we have 8 days to complete it. But so, what I did, I usually divided. So, today is not the last date, a day before the last date, like tomorrow is the last date. But I thought of let me finish, like, if I can possibly can complete it today from unit 28 to 35. And in today's unit we'll be covering about religions of mm, uh, India, unit 28. Unit 29 is about tourism policy and planning. That's very important chapter. Then we have about infrastructure development, tourism infrastructure development. Then what is the role of local bodies, their officials. Then we have the development dependency and Manila Declaration, then the economic impact of tourism as well as social, political, and environmental impact, and what are the threats and obstacles to tourism. So, something about like in this few units like tourism planning, that's very important, and we can easily find about the identify the leakages in economy, then who benefits from tourism, We can also come to know about the socio-cultural impacts of tourism, as well as what are the environmental impacts of tourism. Like, Mr. Manoj, he's working for Karnataka Tourism Development Corporation, and recently Dashera was celebrated there, and he explained, he very what are the issues, how he handled. Initially he explained all those, and he had some slides also. So I said ki after we finish all these units, we will have around 20-25 minutes for him. He'll just explain, like you'll find everything over there, like right from the economic impacts of tourism on that particular destination, on that particular festival, what are the threats and what are the obstacles. So we'll be basically discussing in this discussion with examples that will be focused by Mr. Manoj, right? uh, so like when we talk about religious diversity, India, like India, no doubt India is a religious diverse country with lot many religions. And like Hinduism, we have Islamic, we have Christianity, Sikhism and Jainism. Like but as per the census 2011, the Hinduism is the religion that dominates the most, with 79.8% of population. Then coming to that, and of course Ramayana and Mahabharata, all of us know these are the two great epics. And Bhagavad Gita is an important text for the Hindus also. And Quran, Islamic, like 14.2% of population belongs to the Islamic religion. And Quran is considered as the holy book of Muslims. And coming to Christianity, we also have Buddhism, we also have Christianity. These all we have Jainism, then we have Christianity. Like Christianity is 2% of the population, Sikhism is 1% of the population, and Jainism is 1% of the population. And yes, according like we all know which are the holy books of all these religions. So sometimes what happens, like India's religious composition has remained relatively stable since the 1947 partition that divided this Indian subcontinent. However, a country is officially secular, but religion is a very crucial part of everyday's life. So, an India's constitution does not recognize a specific religion. We can practice any religion we feel like, and every religion has their own customs, their own beliefs, their own festivals. That is how India celebrates. So recently we have celebrated Durga Puja, Dashera. That's one of the main festivals of India. Similarly, we have, like they say, in 12 months we have 18 festivals. So each and every religion has their own festivals to celebrate. So sometimes, what happens, the question may come, what are the different religions of India, define them. So you should have a ready-made answer for this. I understand we all read about in we all studied in a school in geography, history and all about this religions and all, especially like which region, which part has the maximum Hinduism or Christianity and all. So we can go, you can just go through this, not much to be I need to explain on this. But this chapter, tourism and policy planning, is most important, which I really wanted to focus on. Now, when we talk about need for tourism policy and planning, it's basically refers to the strategies, as well as actions that should be taken by the government. As like government means the state governments, the government of India, central government, as well as the local bodies, the private sectors. Then there is the local communities, to manage and promote the tourism development. So this policies are basically the strategies that are being undertaken by all these sectors, state government, then your central government, as well as local communities. So we all, for an effective tourism planning is very much tourism policy. Effective tourism policy as well as planning is very much necessary to balance the economic benefits that are associated with the environments as well as the social concerns. And this tourism policy basically it involves setting goals, then how to allocate the resources and implementing the measures. When we talk about implementing the measures, means the infrastructure development, like Mr. Manoj had told about the Nandi Hills. There are it is fully managed by the Karnataka Tourism Development Corporation. They are not allowing the central government to intercept, or the local community. So state government is fully taking care of that. So these are some policies which are very much necessary to set the goals as well as allocate the resources. Like infrastructure development is there, then you have to take care of the marketing campaigns and all. Then there's a regulatory framework. As if you talk about, what are the good tourism policy basically involves, so we need to take care of the seasonality, we need to take care of the sustainability, which is very much important, as well as the community engagement. So these are very much necessary to ensure a positive impact on the local community as well as the environment. We should prevent negative impact. Then side by side we have to improve the service quality and train the human resources, that is very important. So like capacity building, these are there, like different types of skill development programs are there. Then of course and to ensure that a destination is to focus, to make a destination more prominent, we need to market the destination. So these all are being needed for the tourism planning and tourism policy and planning. So and when we talk about planning, it includes study preparation, what are determining the goals, then surveys has to be done, then analysis, depending on the data analysis has to be done. Then we have to plan for the formulations. Then there are sometimes recommendations, suggestions from the different boards of tourism. Then there are departments which need to take care, monitor, supervise, evaluate. Then when and as required, modifications has to be done, reassessment has to be done. So this planning is very much necessary, and all together they make the tourism policy. Now, in June 1982, the Planning Commission recognized tourism as an industry. Initial, prior to their tourism was not considered as an industry, but in 1982, the Planning Commission recognized tourism as an industry. So that is very important. So, a National Committee on Tourism, that is NCT, was set up by the Planning Commission in June 1986 to basically evolve a plan for the coming years. So, the main objectives that helps to preserve, retain, enrich our worldview, lifestyle, culture, and so at the same time it could also bring the socio-economic benefits to the community, and offers opportunity like job employment, employment, then infrastructure development, and also ensure that the nature is not being disturbed, and we can enhance to preserve the environment, sensitive regions and other monuments. So these were the basically the objectives. And some principles that development strategy for tourism sector were based on various principles: low cost economy, as with higher levels of production and efficiency in the improvement in the infrastructure and promoting competition. And you have to develop selected tourist circuits, then at the same time restore and develop the national heritage projects and explore the new tourist generating markets. Now at the same time there were some recommendations, like recommendations of National Committee on Tourism, that was in 1988, like as we have discussed, and this were based on the principles, and some recommendations were there in the field of accommodations, like depending on the locality, depending on the destination, like how many acres of land the destination is located. So there were construction of budget class accommodations, like we there were Yatri Nivas, there were YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association, then there were youth hostels, then there were also heritage properties also which need to be preserved at some destinations. Then you also at the same time there were some policies which need to be adapted to allow foreigners visiting that destinations. Then travel agencies were there to be provided with all the how to facilitate the informations to the tourists, the visitors. Then there were different recommendations were there in the field of accommodation as well in the field of transportations. As at the same time also on the environmental issues were also involved, because when we talk about infrastructure development, whether it's the roads, whether it's the network, roadways network, or the infrastructure and all, the environment is there's a negative impact on the environment. So recommendations were also there to check the environmental damages, creating specific tourism zones, then allowing limited number of tourists only on certain type of at certain type of times. And there were some systems like local ecosystem, this following those systems which encourages a local ecosystem, and availing the services on different various non-governmental organizations. So basically the objective was to protect, restore and manage the environment. So that was very important. Like we need to attract the tourist, but ensure that the destination was able to accommodate the tourists, accommodate the visitors, accommodate the tourists. So we had to always keep in mind that you need to protect, whether it's a monument or whether it's a heritage site, we have to protect it, we have to restore it, and also manage the environment. Because if there is a inflow of tourists is more at a particular destination, it also has a very negative impact on the environment. So all these recommendations were there and they were discussed in the planning commissions, and as per those there were some rules, regulations, framework was there as in the tourism policy. Now, this was all the National Action Plan 1992, and the main objectives were socio-economic development of areas. Obviously, when we are going to a destination, when the tourists are visiting a destination, there should be proper few things has to be taken care of, like the accommodation, the fooding, like food outlets, as well as the safety, security. Then this all has to be taken care of. And when such an destination is being developed, it also increases employment opportunities, especially the local communities. And the first and foremost is to preserve the national heritage as well as the environment, and diversification of the tourism products, and increase of share in the world tourism. These were the objectives. And some strategies for development were developing the areas on selective basis, Now we have to, at the same on the same side, they were like, you need to restructure and strengthen the institutions for human resources, because not only development of infrastructure, people always emphasize on developing the infrastructure, but not only developing the infrastructure won't solve the issues and all. At the same time, you need to have the workforce. Human resources is very much important. Well trained human resources who would provide the services, so that is also very important. And there were a lot of evolving suitable policy for increasing the foreign tourists. Like, we have domestic tourists as well as international tourists, so there were some policies where also where, they have a proper framework for the foreign tourists also. Then, yes, accommodation is a very important sector which needs to be taken care of. Then, we should encourage domestic tourism, because maximum revenue is being generated from domestic tourism. But people had that intuition that more revenue is being collected, because that is through foreign exchange, international tourism. So sometimes what happens, they give more emphasis on the international tourism, and the domestic tourism is being neglected. But India as a country, we are full of flora, fauna, beaches, mountains, monuments. So domestic tourism has to be improvised, and more facilities has to be provided. Like, for pilgrimage tourism is there, then there are the crafts villages which has come up at many places in India. Then fairs and festivals are being celebrated. Like, recently, as I mentioned, we had Durga Puja in West Bengal, but not in West Bengal, in the eastern part of India as well as other parts of India, but more celebrated in West Bengal. So you have to ensure that everything, the carrying capacity is very important. They are able to, because there are a lot of visitors, foreign tourists are coming from abroad to for you have to basically for coverage and all. So that also has to be taken care of, that we ensure that everybody is being properly taken care of, and specifically the tourism department is very much responsible for all this. How to reach, whether the road transport or air transport, then the businesses, the travel trade businesses, then facilitating tourist movements. Then, at the same time, a lot of areas are there which needs to be developed for integrated growth. And marketing is also very much necessary, marketing and overseas publicity. So that is usually, as I told you, we have all this Indian tourism trade fair being held every year at Berlin, and all road shows where all the tourism, not only the state, not only India tourism, but also the state tourism of our country participates in this road shows and events, okay, to basically for marketing as well as overseas publicity. Now these all are being mentioned in the tourism policy. So there are some action plans, because it is tourism policy and planning has to be there. A lot of ideas are there, lot of ideas are being generated, but those has to be action, it needs a proper action. So when we talk about summary of action plans, it includes, like, special tourism areas, creation of special tourism areas. Then there are marketing support to this heritage hotels and resorts. Then a river cruise has been lot of places which has come up with this river cruises, like Varanasi and all. Then even in like Sundarbans and all, Sundarban in West Bengal. Then information revolution by adapting new communicating facilities. And special airlines or hotel tour packages are being offered for selected destinations at a particular period of time. And liberalized charters policies and automatic clearance. These are all there in the policies. Of course, it keeps on changing, as per the requirement. I mean, governments takes initiative when to change, and those are being regulated by the specifically by the tourism department, Ministry of Tourism. Now, some aspects to be considered, that is like, few to name, such as interrelationship between tourism and other activities, then promotion of the beneficial effects of holidays with domestic tourists, then you have to the protection of tourists so that they may enjoy, then protection of rights of individuals and communities. So these all aspects to be considered implementing the policies also. And there are some international standards also. Top 10 tourism destinations do not include the third world. People from developed countries, they require more comfort at destination also. So this leads to a pressure on the third world destinations to organize, standardize and manage the supply aspects. Now, energy is most essential to the tourism product, so we should conserve, save energy, save the planet. Then alternative resources are widely used to cut costs, like at places, there are some tourist destinations in the country which they do not use electricity, they use solar, like for like instead of using the electricity, they use solar energy. So that is also being utilized. Solar, wind, hydro and tidal wave energy resources are being used, and we should always follow the steps which are required to be adapted to save energy. We can always shift to alternative resources, then always reduce the waste, that is very much necessary. Then integrate terminals of different modes, then also develop the tourist circuits to shorten distance of tours. As I in one of my classes I have explained, like, there are different tourist circuits that has been developed by the tourism department of the country. When you visit this place, you should also visit this nearby destination. So they are being considered, they are known as the tourism circuits. Okay, so enhance tourism attractions in cities where all infrastructure exists. Then there are creating and managing the tourism infrastructure in line with international standards is difficult and expensive. So franchising and management contracts provide necessary know-how. Now there are many, you might be knowing, there are, chain of hotels, there are franchisee also. Sometimes it's very difficult, to manage. The company is only able to manage, but they, give the franchisee to some other companies which run that property, but they get their name and logo of that particular company. So that is how the franchisee is being done, is basically to because sometimes international standard is difficult and expensive to maintain. Then there are also private partnership is also there. Private investment in such areas are difficult to attract, as income from tourism depends upon season. That is very much, we talked about it, that is seasonability is very much, seasonability, sustainability is very important. And foreign, there are a lot of foreign investments also there. So foreign investments can be attracted only when rules and regulations are changed. So much stress is given to generate investment from private sectors by providing incentives like, low interest and long term loans, because tourism should always depend on a long term plan, not a short term plan. Okay, and government subsidize for facilities in backward regions. Then there should be some like tax reductions, tax exemptions, interest rates, duty free imports, land at low cost. Now these all are being mentioned in the tourism policies. Okay, and yes, we have to keep the following points in mind while developing tourism industry in a vast area. Like, what are the areas that need to be developed? Then, facilitation, that is usually been taken care by all these tour operators, travel agents, like visa, then immigration, customs duty, etc., and all those. Then airport and other facilities, along with staff training, like exchange of foreign currencies and all. You can also do at the airports, you can also do at the hotels, you can also do at banks, and also these facilities like are being given. And yes, hygiene is very much important in all, both personal, in all matters, both personal and public. And accommodation that suit the test and pockets of the tourists, that is very important. You have budget plus hotels, you have heritage properties, you have supplementary accommodation, you have star category hotels. So depending on your budgets, everything is facilitated. Okay. Then yes, there are trade fairs and festivals are conducted. The reasons behind is for promoting tourism of that particular destinations. So that is very important. Then yes, private players, as I told you, it is not always when the government sees that it is unable to handle, so private partnership is there, and collaborations are also there. And there should always be especially when we talk about, it's not only the infrastructure, but especially the network of whether it's the traveling, like airways or waterways, or you have these airports and all. So you have to improve the airports at the tourist destinations. There's air taxis and private airlines. There are many places, like for example in Orissa, I'll give you a small example of Orissa. There's a city called Rourkela. It's a still city. In 2023, the World Hockey Championship was held at Rourkela. So it's in Orissa, still city. Now the thing is that because of this, it has got such a promotion, publicity, advertisement. So there were no airports, because Bhubaneswar is the only city in Odisha which is having the airport. But due to this event that was organized, international hockey tournament was organized, so they had to have an airport was constructed at the Rourkela Steel City. Because that event was there, they had made the city green. No doubt the city is full of greenery, but there were a lot of infrastructure development. Now the thing is that why I'm telling you, like students and the Taj had taken this initiative, like it was under, I mean, they were facilitating all the services, all the facilities and all. Because getting manpower, not only manpower, trained manpower is also very was very pivot, I mean, plays a very pivotal role in this type of conducting an event. So what Taj had done, they had taken their staff, as well as students from IHM Bhubaneswar, Institute of Hotel Management, IHM Bhubaneswar, as well as students from our university also. Now what they have done, they have the students were on around 4 months, they were at Rourkela, because they have done all the setup for accommodating. See, like only they, I mean, the places, like the stadium where this was organized, it was organized at Bhubaneswar as well as Rourkela. So a former chief minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, was the main person who took this initiative to make this make Bhubaneswar tourism I mean a sports tourism destination. So Rourkela was also developed, and infrastructure, as I told you, there were that time there were not that much hotels also. So what, some infrastructure was there. So this students from the hotel management colleges, from IHM Bhubaneswar, from our university, as well as employees of Taj, they had facilitated everything, they provided the services and all. So they had taken that responsibility to provide the services in the sense the accommodation and the fooding part. Rest was taken care by other, like like the आपका जो stadium hai, that was taken by the state government and all. But accommodation and fooding, This was fully taken by the Taj group of hotels. Okay, so they had taken, and we had this because hotel management students, they are well trained also, so more or less they were well trained, so they were there for around 3 to 4 months at Raurkela. So when the players had come, they were accommodated, and they had done all the setup, like means, usually no setup was there. There was no proper hotels were not, I mean, hotels were there, but not star classified hotels, but the setup they had done, they were at par with any star hotels. So right from the room setup to the restaurant setup, the bar setup, the the housekeeping, like all these linens and all, everything was done. So it took them like it's a pre-opening property and all. So they had done around they were there for around 3 to 4 months. Then I mean, that was their hands-on experience for the students. But what I mean to say, in the year 2000, this event occurred in 2023. This was organized in 2023, and in 2024, Mayfair Hotel property. There's a Mayfair group of hotels. They have lot of hotels, chain of hotels in Orissa, as well as in eastern part of India, like Gangtok, Darjeeling, and all those. And now they have taken up the property, that property at Rourkela. They already had an existing property at Rourkela, but this property also they had taken, which had 250 rooms. So this is how, why I gave you this example. It's because whenever any event, or whenever any such conferences or such at the global like globally takes place, where global, international visitors are there, tourists are there, players are there, they participate. So the destination is, it brings a great change in the destination. So that is what happens. And tourism, it's not only the role of the government, but the tourism department of the state, as well as the tourism department of the country, has a major role to play. So that's very important. Now, yes, we should ensure that whenever these infrastructures are built, there are a lot of environmental damages arise. So we need to protect, we need to manage the environment, we need to preserve, protect, and manage the environment, so that there is no negative aspects of impacts of tourism on the particular destination. Tourism crime is also increasing. We will come to that in our obstacles and threats in tourism. um, so yes, I told you, this is very important. Benefits of tourism to local people has to be counted, rather than counting the foreign exchange generated by tourism. That is very important. Okay, then yes, this is very important. Yes, like there are different when I was talking about the infrastructure development in tourism, like it includes like facilities, as well as services, like like transportation, which is very important, then accommodation, then the entertainment. These are all very important. But there are some ways to develop the tourism infrastructure, like we need to improve the connectivity. That is the why that tourism circuits has been developed. That's an initiative by the government of India tourism department. Then improve the public amenities, plus road, like you have these motels and on the highways and all. So public amenities is also very important. Then you have to restore the historic structures. Then you have to promote religious tourism. Then promote the religious, publicize, that is also very promotion. And publication, publicize is also advertising, that is also very important. Then you can have museums, information centers, and interpretation centers. As I told you, in one of my classes I have discussed about interpretation centers. Earlier it was not there, but now this interpretation center is there. Interpretation centers are basically, it's been located near museums and monuments or heritage buildings and all. So before you enter that monument or historical site, you have this interpretation center where miniature, uh, you'll have the just a Konark temple. They have a in that interpretation center when it was established. Then what are the like how it was built, like red stones, it was built by red stones. Then uska ek miniature bhi rehta hai. Then there is a, you have a 5-10 minutes a movie on that, like video show, so that people, how the story basically evolved, why that Konark temple was constructed. And so all these are there at the interpretation. All these informations are there at the interpretation centers. Then at the same time, when this new tourism infrastructure is being developed, it also provides employment to the local communities. Then providing like restrooms, then sanitization systems. This is very important. And sanitize people about all the informations, sensitize people about all these informations, that is very important. Then then signs, then all these logos that are also being taken care of. As at the end of the day, we should ensure that there's less to less wastage, as well as disposable should be properly handled and all. Okay. Now, yes, when we're talking about the local bodies, officials, and tourism. Now, basically, when we talk about the local bodies, local bodies are including like these municipalities and all. So, as well as, councils and all. So, they play a very crucial role in promoting tourism in their respective areas. And the officials who work for this municipal corporations or village panchayats and all, they work closely with the stakeholders. Here stakeholders means the local communities and all. Okay, to develop and implement the tourism strategies, that is like providing the infrastructure and services which could enhance a good experience for the visitors, the tourist. Okay, so their main objective or their aim is to increase the local revenue, as well as create jobs, because employment is also very necessary, and also creating revenue and the development of that area. So they have to have this effective collaboration. So it is not only the state government that comes in, but also there is a private partnership also with other investment companies and all. So effective collaboration with those companies, between local bodies and officials and tourism boards, which is very essential to ensure that a long term sustainability of tourism initiatives is being taken place, and also overall development of the community in general happens. Okay, now this partnership can basically lead to a mutually beneficial relationship between the tourism and the local economies. Now this local bodies, they are basically functions like, they are responsible. What are their functions? Mainly their functions include like planning, they have to plan. Then there's the enforcement, enforcement standards for tourism enterprises. Then they have to collect data, then those data has to be analyzed. Then at the same time they have to ensure about the managing the environment. Managing the environment, you need to have a very clean environment, a safe environment, healthy environment, and accessible to the tourists, as well as stimulating for both the local communities and also for the visitors. So these are some of the functions which you can have already mentioned, you can go through. And this local four main reasons why state should explore control over the local bodies. Like local, well, is the central government, then comes under the state, and under the state comes the local bodies. Now local bodies are basically created by the state government. And there is sometimes, the government does not the government I mean, it's very difficult for the government to take there are many areas, many destinations which need to be developed. So the state, it's the duty of the state government to basically disseminate the work. So in that case, what they do, they give the responsibility to the local government. I mean, local area, local government in local area. So the local area means the local community, so that they can develop and they can generate revenue, they can create job employments. That is how it is being done. And technical skills are very much necessary. Now, to impart this training to the imparting training, or I mean technical skills to this localize this different modules, training modules are being developed by the these training modules are being developed by the institutes like IHMs, then IITTMs. They develop these modules and they impart training to this local community, so that they become trained, that's an hands-on experience they have. They also become self-dependent and earn encouraging them and empowering the local community, way of empowering them. So guidance, always we should remember, the guidance and control should not be negative. It should not restrict the initiative, discretion and assumption of responsibility by the local bodies. Yes, these are the the areas that should be managed. Like as I told, transportation is very important. Accommodation, we should, first thing is accommodation, transportation, fooding, hygiene, then water supply, then there are the recreation facilities. Suppose recreation facilities, yeah, suppose you have a lake, okay, but and at the you have this boating facility and all. Now boating facility to hai, but there should also be lifeguards also. But at some places you'll find all these recreational facilities are there. Boating karne ki matlab, facilities are there, and they are also charging, but they don't have lifeguards. So if any unusual events take place, then who is going to handle? So that has to be taken care, which is sometimes if it is not being properly taken care of, so it has a very negative impact on that particular destination. So the government should unless and until the government matlab this responsibility has been given to the local community, but the state government should monitor it. That is what is necessary. Okay, and yes, security, law and order, this is very important. So performing these tasks cannot directly promote tourism, but by not doing above tasks may directly affect tourism at that place. So that is, you should, it is not always about promoting tourism, but it affects tourism. So you have to ensure that everything runs very smoothly. There's some what sometimes the finances, they do not get proper finances from the state government and all. So sometimes the infrastructure is not being properly developed, and also poor finances. Parking lots, that is also like shopping. Now parking lot is also a very important thing, because everybody visits this, they have their own vehicles and all, or they are taking vehicles on rent and all, car rental. And so you have to ensure that parking lots hai. Destination recreation facility to apne bana diye. You'll find many gardens and all, those are being taken care by the horticulture department and all, but proper parking area is not there. So not only the transport facility, but small things you should be taken care of, like parking slots. Then all these people should be sensitized about all this, using this toilets and all. So ye sab hona chahiye, those are very important. Okay. Uh, then there are, of course, these are the measures for improvement. There should be proper cooperation, proper coordination, the collaboration among the locals and the local communities as well as the state governments. And there should be proper leadership. That is very important. Sound leadership for the local bodies to have this long term perspective and give due importance has to be given to the environment preservation. That is very important. Okay. um, so yes, now this is very important. Short notes में ना आते रहता है कि question what do you mean by tourism leakage. Okay. Now what are tourism leakages? Now I'll explain it. Now what are tourism leakages? Because it is a phenomenon where, where a significant portion, you can say a large portion of the revenue that is being generated from tourism, that does not remain in the local economy, but it instead leaks out to external entities. So this can happen for various reasons. The reasons can be foreign ownership, then imported goods and services, then high operational cost, then outsourcing. Sometimes, this you might have seen in hotels and all. This is not like, especially the laundry services in some hotels, they are being outsourced and all. So so these are the many reasons, like outsourcing. I gave you an example, outsourcing, like then limited local employment, then tourist behavior. So these are all the main causes of tourism leakages. Like foreign ownership means, if there are hotels or restaurants or tour operators, if they are owned by foreign companies, then obviously the profit may the profits may be repatriated to their home countries instead of benefiting the local community. So why do we develop a community? Because that local community should be developed, not only the promoting the tourist destination, but also generating employment to the local youths, and creating job employment to the local youths, as well as creating revenue for that particular area. So these I mean, how tourism leakages happens. Then imported goods and services. So sometimes when tourism businesses, they rely heavily on imported goods, like food, beverages, souvenirs. They always buy, you should buy Indian products, don't buy all these international products. Why? You should buy from the malls and all, you can buy from the local markets and all. Okay, so aisa type ka things are there. So then high operational cost. So whenever you buy all these goods or the services that is being rendered to the tourist, high fees have to be paid. It can be for licenses, it can be for taxes, it can be for other utilization program utilization process fees and all. So ultimately, it reduces their profitability and reinvest in the local community, and ability to reinvest in the local community. Then there's a outsourcing. Some tourism related services may be outsourced to external companies. So obviously they are diverting funds away from the local economy. Now जैसे मतलब if you find about it, like near the beaches and all, you'll find all these local youths, they set up their stalls and all. But at the same place you'll be finding a stall, from कोई chain of properties का भी stall तुम्हें आपको मिलेगा. So people have this they are usually, they don't like it, because these chains of properties, they don't want, I mean, they want that the business, they should also get business from those avenues and all. But the local youth does not want that, because if when obviously if I know I will if some chain of properties, they have their food outlets at those beaches, I'll prefer to have go and eat there. The reason behind, they maintain the decorum, not only maintaining the decorum, but the like safety, security, safe, hygienic, from hygienic point of view, they have standardized operating procedures, SOPs, okay. But all these local food outlets, they don't follow the SOPs and all. But now especially what I mean to say, जैसे अगर आपका कोई इवेंट फेस्टिवल्स होगा, आप देखोगे all these people from food safety and all, they come and check all the foods that is being served there. So yeah, safety standards are should be measured, and all these SOPs has to be there, so they can go as per the SOPs, okay. So that is also there. Then of course limited local leakages also occur because of limited local employment. When you have stores or shopping outlets, museums open, you have employees from other state governments or others. So it obviously the employment to the local youth is being reduced. So if tourism jobs are not accessible to the locals, and the reasons may be because of the skill gaps or anything, or language barriers, then the economic benefits of that particular area are minimized. So that is why, one thing is the skill. So skill has to be developed, and secondly, language barrier is also there, but that is still, then it can be handled. But skill is very important. So like, this hospitality industry, the tourism industry is mainly because of the skill. It's more of a skill industry, okay. So I mean, the government is always coming up with lot of programs, skill based programs, where they can just learn the skill for 3 months or 6 months and get employed at various tourism outlets, can be restaurants, can be souvenirs shops, can be museums, and all those. And last but not the least, you have this tourist behavior. So obviously, as I told you, since we belong to the cities and all, we always have an attitude, okay, we prefer to have international brands, not everybody, but of course, or chains over the local businesses. So this all lead to less money staying in that community. So this what where leakages occurs, okay. So we have to basically mitigating tourism leakages often involves promoting local ownership, then encouraging the use of local products as well as the services, and fostering community development, community development as well as engagement in the tourism development places, okay, destinations. So remember, policies regarding tourism has to look deep into such problems and has to be removed from the beginning. So this all initiatives has to be taken by the, see, the central, the ministry is there, ministry has come up with lot of promotional activities, have come up with lot of projects. Now they have, they are floating lot of projects. Now you can also become you can also come up, like for example, if you go through the ICSSR website, Indian Council of Social Science and Research, because tourism belongs to the social science area, you'll see government of India has floated many research projects, I mean projects, huh? So if you being a, suppose if you belong to the tourism fraternity, and along with इसमें केवल आप अकेला नहीं कर पाओगे, you are one of the, suppose you work for a NGO, non government organization, okay, you are a part of that, you have to collaborate with some university. Then you have to, I mean, in your group you can have a university, you can have a local, you can have a local practitioner, like who is working with the environment, then you can be a member of the NGO. जैसे 4-5 लोग मिलके you can form a group, then you can apply for the project, and the funding basically comes from the government of India, but that funding comes to the university and all, okay. So there are a lot of paraphernalia on that, but yes, you can become a part of that, you know. Viksit Bharat ke liye, na, there are a lot of projects that are being floated by the government of India. How to protect your environment, how to protect the beaches, how to empower the local community, how to empower the tribal areas, because all these tribal arts and crafts, you know, they have a major role to play in the department of tourism. But if you see, that is where tourism leakages occurs, you know. मतलब उन लोग का कुछ बेनिफिट नहीं होता, बट दूसरे लोगों लाइक फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स एंड ऑल, ऐसा नहीं, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स, देयर आर domestic investors also, private companies, they come, they invest. So you know, they take the maximum profit portion. So the basically the craftsmen, who all those tribal people who are involved in doing all those producing all those crafts and all, they are not benefited. So that is how tourism leakages takes place. But that is, I mean, it's a very challenging a job, but I mean, you get I mean, you have to I mean, they have to proper control over this. Means the government is floating, no doubt, all these projects and all, but they should have a full control, which is at times it is not. So once I why I told you about this project, later on you can implement these projects. Okay, suppose you belong to any suppose Sundarban. Okay, it's a known for its white, I mean, Bengal tigers, tiger reserves, and those area has to be developed. Now, this Sundarban is located in a local, in a the area, means the community where it is located, it is not much developed. So, how to develop those areas? उसके लिए आप एक प्रोजेक्ट बना सकते हो, एंड इफ यू फाइंड वंस द प्रोजेक्ट इज बीइंग क्लिक, you benefit the society, you know, it can be a very beneficial for the society. Of course, there are many NGOs who are working, मतलब उन लोग root level से काम करते हैं, means they are working for the root level. Now we as a we into academics, or those who are like, we just see on the what is happening and all, we don't see the root level. So those who work for the root level, like this NGOs and all, what are the barriers, what are the problems they face, there are a lot of issues, but how they handle. And once the area is developed, I mean, it benefits the local community, it benefits the society, it benefits the state, it benefits the country as well. As I mean, I mean, a country can always be on the global map. So that is how it happens. Okay, so we should ensure that we can reduce this tourism leakages as much as we can. There's a this conference was there, Manila conference. So you can this question is also a very question which is usually rehta hai, what is Manila conference. So you can this is a very important, you can just go through this. And this World Tourism Convention, sponsored by the World Tourism Organization, took place at the Philippines International Convention Center in the year 1980. So you can go through this. Okay, this is important, and what were their objectives were, everything has been mentioned. And yes, so that was, and I was talking about the local population, this local population point of view regarding tourism. Yes, I told you about the tourism leakages. Earnings from tourism, they do not come to the locals, that is what is happening. And especially during season, the prices of essential commodities goes up due to tourism inflow, that is also there. So price rise affects the local people. And localites always feel that all those managerial jobs are given to the outsiders than to the locals. Obviously, managerial job has to be given to the because I mean, people who are handling those projects, or all this type of uh, I mean, tourism organizations in those areas, that has to be a person who is well versed in that particular area and all. So that is usually there from outside, and then the localites come here. The localites have to be given training and all. But yes, there should be proper meaningful employment of localites should be implemented. That is very necessary. Okay. Then yes, direct employment and income generated in each of the service provides depends on volume of traffic inflow, tourist traffic, then amount of tourist expenditure, that is also very important, and pattern of the spending. As I in one of my slide it was mentioned, most of the this your spending pattern is on accommodation as well as on food. Okay, sometimes the transport is also there, so you should see what is the pattern of their spending and all. Okay, so that you have to collect data and then analyze. There is something called multiplier effect in tourism. This is also very important. Like tourism generates an immense volume of indirect employment and income with a multiplier effect. Now, what do you mean by a multiplier effect? ये भी short notes में आते रहता है. What do you mean by multiplier effect? Like, multiplier effect is basically like initial spending by the tourists. They generates additional income activity within a destination. Now, this basically this concept illustrates like how money circulates through the local economy, then they create a further income and employment opportunities. Now, here how it is like multiplier effect. एक तो है, what are the factors involved? Like one is the initial spending, second is the income generation, third is the respending, fourth is further economic activity, then comes the local investment, then comes I mean, what are the factors that affect the multiplier effect? That is the local supply chains, then there is the employment practices, then tourist spending patterns, then economic structure and all those. Now, just moving ahead, like, when we talk about the initial spending. Now, when a what do you mean by initial spending? Now, when a tourist visits a destination, they spend money on various sectors, like various services, like, that can be hotels, that can be restaurants, like food outlets, that can be, that can be your shopping, all the shopping arcades and all, then attractions like visiting the tourist sites, then there is the transportation. These are the main areas where more spending is being done. Now, this initial expenditure is the first round of economic impact. तो इसमें आप रिक्शा में जाओ, ऑटो रिक्शा में जाओ, so transportation ये सारा है. Now, income generation. Now, second is the income generation. When this the businesses they receives this spending, use the revenue to spend their employees, purchase supplies, and cover operational costs. Now, आपने suppose आपने कुछ क्राफ्ट खरीदे हो, नाउ कुछ हैंडलूम्स या हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स खरीदे हो एक शॉपकीपर से. Now, आपने तो खरीद लिया, you spend money on buying that. Now, the thing is that this person, उनको फिर there are other expenditures, like, he has taken that shop on rent, he has bought those purchases, he has purchased those crafts from the artisans. So this is how it comes now. So income generation, so this business, like the spending, they use the revenue to pay their employees. उनका कुछ फिर employees भी है, उनको भी वो salaries देना है. Then purchase supplies, as I told you, and cover the operational cost. Operational cost in the sense वो rent पे shop लिया है. This creates income for local workers and suppliers. Now, respending का मतलब क्या है? Employees and supplies then spend their earnings on goods and services within the local economy, such as groceries. Now, उसी पैसा से they have to buy their groceries, they have to take care of their families, housing, entertainment, leading to a second round of spending. मतलब मल्टीप्लाई होते जा रहा है, दैट ओनली आई एम टेलिंग यू. देन फर्दर इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी में क्या है? नाउ, एज दिस प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूज, द इनिशियल tourism spending generates multiple rounds of economic activity, and each round of spending can lead to additional jobs and income, contributing to the overall economic growth. Okay, now comes the local investment. There's a local investment also. Now the profits that is being earned by the local community or the local businessman, they can be reinvested in the community, leading to, which lead, that can be infrastructure, that can be infrastructure improvements, that can be more enhanced services, then can be further development of tourism facilities. So that is what multiplier effect. So if tourism industry buys good and services from local markets, multiplier effect will be greater. And if you say what are the factors, as I told you, like local supply chains, then employment practices, you know, then tourist spending patterns, then economic structure and all. Okay, so when we talk about the multiplier effect, this multiplier effect in tourism is very crucial for the policy makers. Okay, as we talk about policy making, so this is very important for the policy makers as well as the stakeholders, because it aims to maximize the benefits. Benefits means economic benefits of tourism, and minimize the tourism leakages. So multiplier effect will be greater when the tourism leakage will be less. Okay, and by creating, by implementing all these local business, I mean getting into effect, by putting them into effect, by fostering, you can say, these local businesses, and encouraging, at the same time, sustainable practices, like taking care of the environment and all, communities can enhance their economic resilience and improve the overall quality of life. That is what is very uh, important. So if goods and services are imported, then the multiplier effect decreases. Obviously, you know when the the revenue that is being generated stays within the community, that is multiplier effect. But if I am buying from you, and if I'm as a tourist, I buy from the local shop, and if the local shop has purchased from another other shops which is not located in the state but in some other states, so that money can, it's a way of tourism leakage. You should try keep to you should always try to keep the revenue within the state or within the local community, so that is only multiplier effect. So if tourism industry buys goods and services from local markets, multiplier effect will be greater, and if goods and services are imported, then the multiplier effect decreases. Okay, so this is on flow chart. You can go through this flow chart. um, yes, the value of goods or services imported to meet the tourism needs is termed as tourism leakage. um, I have already, these are the factors responsible leakages, like foreign exchange spent on publicity, promotion, setting of tourist offices abroad, then commission paid to the tourist operators, to foreign retailers, etc. Then entry of multinational reducers. Of course, you won't allow, sometimes these MNCs are not allowed to operate in the local community. They are not allowed in the network of local communities, because it reduces the profits and taxes in host countries, since payments are made in tourist origin country. So that is has to be taken care of. So states, you can go through this: restricting the control of multinationals and insisting tourists to pay in foreign currency for the services engaged. Okay, and yes, this is a socio-political and environmental impact. Um, I'll just try to finish it in another 10 minutes. Tourism has a significant, then Mr. Manoj will be showing the slides. That's way. Okay. Then tourism can have significant social, political, and environmental impacts on destinations. Like social impacts, when we talk about social impacts, it can be like cultural exchange. It can be like exchanging of traditions, customs, and lifestyles. Then you have community development, development of schools, colleges, then hospitals, and shopping complexes, which benefits the local community. Then social stratification, like sometimes there's a divide, like division between those who benefit from tourism and those who do not. So this should and this division, like it always creates a tension, so it should not be there. Okay. Then cultural erosion is there, and sometimes increased tourism can sometimes lead to commercialization of local cultures, and resulting in the loss of authenticity as communities cater to the tourist expectations. Especially if you go to some temples and all, you are this who are the pandits and all, they just oh, 1 minute. Hmm. This local this local If you go to some temples and all, you'll see these pandits and all, they'll be just forcing you to कि आप यहाँ पर दक्षिणा दो, नहीं तो आपको पाप लग जाएगा. Means they say, so this is, these have a very negative impact. I know some temples and all, and they insist you to buy the products. You are not interested, बट दे इंसिस्ट यू कि आप यहाँ पर पैसा दो, आप यहाँ पर डोनेशन दो, आप यहाँ पर प्रोडक्ट. सो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज वेरी important. Okay. Because
Can I
yes, tell me.
interrupt you for a minute?
Yes,
I
yes,
just
please, please.
got this on another group that the exam date or the exam filling form date has been extended
Extended
by 20th November, 20th October. Sorry,
20th October. इसीलिए मैं, हाँ, वो it was
another
15th of
5 days we
October.
have. So
हाँ, but I would suggest you better पहले से
none of the website was not working. Last 2 days
हाँ
website has not been giving
हाँ, that I
favorable
read.
response.
हाँ. Yes,
Yep.
yes. So sometimes it happens. Websites,
Yes.
I think they were
Agreed.
also on. So I think I would suggest you better fill it up on time. Today is already 14th, right? Huh?
Yes,
Today's
yes.
huh. So why to all of you all have filled up the registration form, exam form? I mean examination
Yes,
form, registration exam.
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
All
have
of
ma'am.
done.
you. Okay, okay, good, good. So it's better to be, ahead. Otherwise, again, some maybe nowadays everything is online. Maybe some problems you face or issues you face. So it's better to be before time. Usually
Ma'am,
they
it's been great that we have this WhatsApp group, so we get
Ah,
to
this
interact
is
with each other also.
yes,
Yes,
that is very important, and like from today is Monday, Tuesday. I have tomorrow also class on Wednesday. I think Dr. Bireshwar Pradhan will be joining. So I know him. He's also my friend. So I told him कि you add him on the group. So उसमें क्या है, plus you come to know lot of informations and all. We can always share this information. So ऐसा नहीं कि I am you are not from the tourism background means you don't have any informations. You could also relate many informations and also that can be shared and all. Okay. So that's a good idea you told. Fine, thank you for sharing all these informations. And yes, something about, yes, I was talking about this social cultural, this impact of tourism and all. You can go through this slides and all. Yes, some political impacts, like you have this policy development, then you have some regulatory challenges are also there. Then sometimes in the local governments, जैसे sometimes you might have seen, कुछ लोकल फेस्टिवल है, मतलब स्टेट में छुट्टी नहीं है, बट लोकल में वो छुट्टी है. कभी कभी ऐसा फेस्टिवल्स है, वी डोंट गेट द हॉलीडे फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, बट state gives that holiday. So some powers are there with the state governments also, but there are always some challenges are there. And like protection, environmental protection, rights are there, then labor rights are there. And this sometimes, they can cause conflicts, they can lead conflicts between the stakeholders as such. Okay. And there are local governance also, like, when we talk about increased tourism, they can also empower the local governments to take more active roles in decision making processes. But at the same time, it can also lead to power struggles between local authorities and external investors and all. Okay, so this yes, something important points are like that. Remember that plans and projects, they should not be evolved secretly, and efforts of local groups in obtaining information should not be. Sometimes all these different nowadays, all these award ceremonies are there, where this, best hotels, best restaurants, best boutique hotels, then best pubs, they are being given awards that are being sponsored by different tourism companies. Not even tourism companies, even India Today also has sponsored. Recently we have this an award show which was conducted a few days after the World Tourism Day, wherein the best hotels in Odisha, best hotels in resort hotels, best restaurants, best bar, best coffee shop, best bakery shop, so they were being awarded. So in this way, what happens once you do, people, who are all the stakeholders and business persons, they are also, and I mean, they a way of encouraging them and inspiring for other local communities to follow their footsteps. So this all takes place, and this has we should always ensure that the locals must be encouraged to participate in all these processes and all, whether it's a decision making process or whether organizing any events, fairs, culture, I mean, exhibitions or so on. Yes, threats and obstacles to tourism. There are a lot of threats. We all know, like threat in the sense like pollution is there, climatic change and there. Then, tourism has the potential to bring economic effects, no doubt. But at the same time, it is essential to for the stakeholders involved. They should address all this social, political, and environmental impacts thoughtfully. Okay, and we should always remember that sustainable tourism practices need I mean, they should be prioritized, for the local communities as well as the ecosystem, which in turn can help them to reduce the negative impacts on the tourism sector. And like threats may apka, you can, there are communal rights and all. Then there are the nature disasters like floods ho jai, ya earthquakes, hurricanes and all. Then these can damage the flora and fauna of the particular destination, damage the infrastructure, and it has also a very negative impact on the local communities. Then pandemics and health crisis like COVID-19, it led to travel restrictions were there. Then decreased consumer confidence, people are not confident enough to move to different places. So there was a significant decline in the tourist arrivals also. Then political instability, that you can see always happening in a country sometime. Some conflicts are there, some terrorism attacks are there. I mean, it's reducing, but of course it is always there. And this leads to travel advisories, make a decision in decreasing travel inflows of to that particular place. Then economic recession is there. They can reduce disposable income for travel also. And there's a decline which leads to decline in both the domestic traveling as well as international traveling also. And ensure that the environment is properly taken care of. And yes, over tourism or mass tourism, that is a very important thing, because excessive tourist numbers can lead to overcrowding, which may not only not only have a negative impact on the resources, but also degrade the quality of life for the local communities, that is the residents. And so, we have to take care of. And of course, technological disruptions are there, like, cyber security threats such as data breaches in booking systems and all. So this have to be taken care of. And we should somehow, like, addressing these threats and obstacles. This require uh, collaborative effects among the governments, among the NGOs, among the business communities, business organizations, then the local communities. And when we implement all these sustainable practices, by implementing this sustainable practices, we can always improve the infrastructure and enhance the safety measures, then sensitize people about the safety measures to be undertaken. And this can also lead proper destination management and better positioning of a destination. Okay, so that is what is all about today's last unit all about. I will share this with you. You can go through, more or less. We should not ignore all this. So I think I'll just stop sharing. And Mr. Manoj has some slides and all. So he will be, Mr. Manoj, you are all ready? You'll be sharing something. So we all are eager, keen to go through your slides and all.
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready. I'll share you.
Okay. So you'll share it from your side. Okay. So all your assignments are done. Assignments.
Ma'am, I hope you all
Yes, yes.
able to see my slide.
Yes, yes. So Mysuru Dashara, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
This is the illuminated video of means like the picture of Mysuru Palace, how it usually looks. Initially, it was like once in a means like every weekend we used to have a illuminated palace, like the view. But with the promotion of tourism, now
Hmm.
every day for 20 minutes, Mysuru
Hmm.
Palace has been illuminated.
So this will continue for how many days?
No, this is there for every day, but during only this Dasara season. So it will
Huh.
be there up to 23, up to 23rd of this month, ma'am. It will be there for 1 hour every day from 7 to 8 o'clock. They switch on the light.
Oh,
You won't believe there are 96,000 lights, ma'am. It's all like the olden lights, what we used to have, the tungsten light. We have 96,000 lights in Mysore Palace, ma'am.
96,000 lights.
Yes.
Okay, my God. So this started from Dashara and it will continue till 23rd of
This
October. Huh?
usually this will be there every weekend, ma'am. Not only on the during the time of Dasara. This will be
Hmm.
there in every weekend. But
Hmm.
since now the Dasara is happening, Dasara officially got inaugurated on 8th, and it will be
Hmm.
there up to 23rd. The Dasara is famous for the illumination at Mysore, ma'am. So this is a replica for that.
Okay, okay, fine. So everybody you can see this. Everybody must have that place who are residing there.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody can see. It is in the main road only, ma'am. It's actually in the main road.
Oh, acha, I haven't been there yet.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, then.
So this is how the history of Mysore Dasara got started, ma'am. So the elephant on top there is an palkin or ambari, what we call. It is of 750 kgs of gold, ma'am.
Oh my God, 750 kgs gold. Okay.
Yes.
Acha.
So
Okay.
initially, the king used to sit in the palkin, but now
Hmm.
Lord Chamundeshwari, we go for a procession now. So Mysore Dasara or Nada Habba. Nada Habba means Nada means it's a state, Habba means festival. So Mysore
Acha.
Dasara is been considered as the state festival of Karnataka.
Huh.
Often, like in Navratri days, for it lasts for 10 days, ma'am. Usually, like
Hmm.
how the rituals and all other things happen, it continues
Hmm.
in the same way.
Hmm.
There will be a special puja for Chamundeshwari goddess, what we call it as a state goddess also. And the official Dasara festival started in the 15th century. So it was inaugurated by Vijayanagara kingdom. So
Hmm.
Vijayanagara kingdom is called as the prosperity kingdom of Karnataka, where they used to sell gold, diamonds, and corals, everything in the streets, it seems, ma'am. So
Okay.
it has been narrated. So it is one of the richest kingdom of India, they say, the Vijayanagar kingdom.
Vijayanagar Kingdom. Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So this is how
So
usually now
760 kg of gold, huh?
750
760
kg of
kg of
gold is this one, ma'am. The one, the Ambari, what we call the
hmm.
Jambu
Hmm.
Savari. This is the major attraction of Navratri. This happens. This happened in the this happened on 12th of this month, means like day
Hmm.
before
That
yesterday,
is on Dashera day. Huh. Jambu
Dasara day.
Savari, huh?
So the
Dashera
goddess
day.
Chamundeshwari will be seated in the palkin.
Okay.
So there will be huge procession actually. This we sorry day before yesterday, almost around 6 lakh people have witnessed the Jambu Savari. That is what the statistics it says. It says, ma'am.
6 lakh people you said, मतलब उन लोग कैसे देखे like you have a
Ma'am,
direct
the
मतलब
Jambu Savari will start from the palace and it goes and ends in a ground which is
hmm,
2.3 kilometers from the palace to that ground.
hmm.
So
So six
on the both the sides of
road. Huh.
road they will be there, and apart from that, inside the palace we have a seating arrangement. So
Huh.
even inside the palace also people will be allowed with a pass, so that
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
can get in with a permission
Hmm.
and they can witness this historical event, ma'am.
Okay. And this I mean you have any direct telecast of this मतलब
Yeah, ma'am,
जैसे
we have, ma'am. I'll show you. I have a video also. I'll show you that also,
अच्छा
ma'am.
अच्छा okay okay हाँ
Yes, ma'am. And this is was the earliest procession, which the first procession it has been replicated in the picture, like it was in 1610 Raja Wadiyar the first. They had the initial plan of having this procession because the common people they cannot come and meet the king. So the Mysuru Dasra it has been done only for the common people, so that even the common people in Mysuru, the village vendors also, they can
also
directly
see it
have a
watch
look
it
of king. Yes, ma'am.
okay अच्छा got it okay
And there will be a major events like cultural events will be there, ma'am. Fine arts, handicrafts, and the film festival happens. Poetry, Dasara exhibition. So this will be a very major attraction, ma'am. Dasara exhibition. So this comes under the Karnataka Exhibition Authority, and it is the sister concern of Department of Tourism.
hmm.
So they provide a platform for many of the exhibitors,
Hmm.
which includes in terms of tradition or in terms of commercial, economic, all they will provide a platform and it will be there up to January, ma'am. So the entire
So
three
this
months
for
will be
how
there.
many days? How many? 3 months. This is like everybody can go and visit. I mean, they
Yes,
can
ma'am.
have
Exhibition
a
is
look
the
at.
platform. Anybody can go and visit with the entry charges of 35 rupees. For kids, they
Acha,
charge 15 rupees. It's a huge platform, ma'am, actually. It is
so it
almost
is
around
open for 3 months.
uh,
October,
uh,
November.
there is a chances of extending also, ma'am. Every year they say on December 31st they close, but it goes up to Shankranti and it goes up to Shivratri because like by the response of the people, by responding, they
They
will
extend.
extend, ma'am.
So these exhibitors are from the government, I mean, Karnataka or from other states also. They come
Even
and
from other state
participate.
also, ma'am. And even the each state's tourism development corporation, they set up a stall over there and they promote their tourism, ma'am.
Okay, so if I visit in the month of December, I can see like they'll be
Definitely,
available
ma'am.
like
Definitely.
huh? Okay,
It's actually a huge platform, ma'am. You can witness.
okay.
And apart from that, entire states, we have 34 departments of Karnataka government. So
Hmm.
all departments, they set up their own
Stalls.
tableau kind of thing, stalls, and they
Huh.
exhibit their 1 year's performance and what they are planning to have and how it is,
Okay,
how the current
okay,
scenario is happening. And they'll it's a kind of spot registration system they do. If you are a it's like if there is any plan or any scheme which is you are eligible, then and there they will give a clearance, ma'am. It's like it is kind of a people, the government is coming towards the people.
okay, got it. Acha, acha.
So this will be
Fine.
also there.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this is the recent picture, ma'am, Jambu Savari's picture, what the day
Okay.
before yesterday has happened.
That came
And
newspaper, huh?
yeah, there is a
On news.
newspaper one.
Huh.
And this is one, there are a lot of cultural events, how usually happen. We call it as a Musti Kalaga or Malla Yuddha, what we call Vajra Musti Kalaga. So the royal kingdom will be there in the palace itself, and they'll watch, like they'll allow two people to fight, and they'll see. And how usually in the movies and all what we see, ma'am, like the royal kingdom, they say Bahuparak,
Okay,
and
okay, okay.
so all those things
Acha.
and all it regularly happen, and we call it
Okay.
even as a Kasagi Darbar we call. So if
Acha.
we want to witness that prime or the proudency, so you can have
Huh.
a visit during the Dasara, that
Hmm.
will be there.
Okay,
And
okay.
this is the torchlight parade. It is
Huh.
the end of the Dasara festival.
Hmm.
Day before yesterday evening it happened. So from the
Hmm.
Department of Police and the Department of Internal Home Affairs, say they
Hmm.
do this torchlight parade now.
Okay, okay. Then you have
And
some lighting also, na? Lighting मतलब वो कुछ I saw
yes,
in a reel like. Huh.
yes, ma'am. So there will be a flower and vegetable show. So the fruits and flower, vegetables, flower show will also will be there.
Hmm.
This attracts a lot of people, and this is the exhibition, ma'am. The ground, what I told. There will be a
Huh,
lot of
huh, huh.
other activities also.
Huh.
So
So this
exhibition will
took
be there.
place on that 63 acres of land. You told this is all on that 63 acres of land.
No,
This
ma'am. This is actually in Mysore, ma'am. I am talking about Nandi Hills, ma'am. The
acha, acha,
63
acha.
acres is Nandi Hills.
Acha, that
This
is
is in
Nandi. This is
Mysore.
Mysuru. Acha, acha, acha. Yes, huh. Okay, huh.
And there are some words about the palace of Mysore.
Hmm.
So they have started constructed in 1897, ma'am, but they have
Hmm.
completed the palace in 1912. So they have a darbar hall. The
All
word
this.
what I
Huh.
told, like the 97,000 electric bulbs are used to illuminate it. All those things are there in this,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, okay, right.
Yes, ma'am.
So that.
And the Mysore Zoo is one of the oldest zoo, they say, which was constructed by Kamaraja Wadiyar the 10th. And it is
Hmm.
of 250 acres. It is in the center of the city, ma'am.
Okay, Mysuru Zoo. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It is in the center of the city and it is of 250 acres. Initially, it was with the Royal Kingdom. Now, the Department of Forest and the Zoo Authority of Karnataka, what we call it as ZAK, we call usually. The Zoo Authority of Karnataka, it is a sister concern of Department of Forest. It comes under them. And have some slides related to the specialities of Mysore because many of them they might know. But to add a point to that, so Mysuru Peta, we call it as. So the
This is
one
a
this is
type
a
of.
symbol of royal, ma'am, actually. So
Uh,
to whoever we submit a honor or in all the
uh,
government functions, all
it's
the
like a
even
cap,
in our
like something, no?
yes,
Like
ma'am, even in
this
our
is
marriages also, this is a compulsory one what we are supposed to wear.
okay, okay,
So
okay. Mysuru
yes,
Patta, Patta.
Mysore
Acha, acha,
Peta we call, ma'am.
acha, acha. Okay,
So even the
okay.
royal kingdom family also they were, and like everybody in Karnataka. This shows the royalness of the Karnataka heritage and the our history. Everything it shows, man. So the first picture what I told is it's a kind of royal one, and second one is a
Oh,
normal one. So
okay.
everybody can wear this, man.
Acha, acha.
It's a scarf like single piece of cloth, ma'am, which we cover the cotton
Hmm.
wound.
Like it's like a momentum, like moment you
Yes,
give
ma'am, you are right.
to whenever.
This
Okay. Huh.
In the last line, it is mentioned, ma'am, distinguished people are honored by the award of Mysore Peta in the formal functions. So everywhere
Okay,
we,
okay.
and even when the
Acha.
Prime Minister of India or any others come, usually
Huh.
we donate this,
Money.
we provide them
Okay.
this, we honor with this.
Honor. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
And you all know about the Mysore
That
silk.
Mysore
Mysore
silk.
silk.
Yes, that I have. That I own
So,
one.
and the one best
Mysore
part
silk.
is the Mysore silk weaving is also been done by the royal kingdom only. Ma'am, there is a proverb like if I come from an office and if I go and switch on the light and if I drink a water, I should be thankful to the royal kingdom of Mysore. They say because
Okay.
from the drinking water, from the electricity, you all will be knowing, I believe, in 1902, the Asia's first the hydroelectric power plant was set up in Mysore, which was the first in Asia to have a electricity, and the power was given to Bangalore, it seems, ma'am, and the same power was given to Kolar Goldfield, the KGF.
Acha. Okay.
So this all is a contribution of the royal kingdom. And there is a
Right.
dam by name Krishnaraja Sagar, ma'am. So that Krishnaraja Sagar dam was constructed during the period of the Mysore Royal Kingdom. Nalvadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, he was the king. So at that point of time, they were running short of amount to construct the dam. So what they did is that they entirely pledged the gold what they had in their province, and they constructed the dam, ma'am. So all these
Okay.
contributions they have done.
Lot of contribution towards the society.
Yes, ma'am. You all know about the Mysore silk, ma'am. It is very famous for
Uh-huh.
Mysore silk.
Uh,
Mysore is famous for Mysore silk. And coming to Mysore specialty, Mysore masala
uh,
dosa, everybody will be knowing
dosa.
actually.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm very fond of this South Indian dosas, you know.
And everybody they say Mysore masala dosa, but there is one specialty for Mysore masala dosa is like it should be open and it should be sautéed, and they should add a red chutney, the red chili paste chutney with the oil, and there should be some green peas, the frozen green peas or the boiled green peas should be there, ma'am. Then it is considered as a Mysore masala dosa.
हाँ क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पर दैट बॉइल्ड पीस तो होता नहीं मतलब दे एज यू
But
टोल्ड
I think
बॉइल्ड
they give the red chutney. They spread the red
हाँ
chutney, I believe, ma'am, on
यस
dosa.
हाँ यस दे गिव दैट
Yes, ma'am. Like
ओके
masala dosas, we have a lot of varieties, but
हाँ
Mysore
हाँ
masala dosa
varieties
is
is there
very
हाँ
best.
हाँ
Yes,
it's a different okay okay
yes.
so next time whenever
And
I'll have Mysore masala dosa I'll think of you
yes, ma'am.
okay nice
And Mysore specialty, Mysore agarbattis. You all will
अच्छा
be
अच्छा
knowing about the Cycle Pure brand agarbatti, ma'am. Cycle Pure brand
हाँ
agarbatti was started from Mysore.
okay okay
So it is a product of Karnataka and product of Mysore, Mysore
See,
sandal agarbatti.
we have all these exhibitions, handlooms, fairs. So next time I will ensure to go to that stall. Then I'll have all these, as you showed these Mysore agarbattis and all. So
Yes, ma'am.
at least थोड़ा बहुत तो ideas हो गया.
Ma'am,
Seeing
these
them.
Mysore sandal agarbattis, Mysore agarbattis, and all, their aroma is really actually good. So once we lit
Okay,
two sticks, it will be there for entire half a day. So
okay,
their insect sticks are really good, ma'am, actually.
that's really
And
nice.
you all will be knowing about Mysore Pak, ma'am. So one short
Mysore
story.
Pak. My God, it's so tasty.
One short story about Mysore Pak, ma'am. If you are okay, I'll I'll tell you. Like during Mysore Pak, there was a person by name Kakasura Madappa, ma'am. He was a chef in the Royal Kingdom in Mysore Palace. So, the king of Mysore Palace asked him to give some different tasted sweet because he was bored with having the same kind of sweet. So what he did was that he had some ghee and some sugar and some besan. So he went and he did some sweet. So it was really too good. Immediately after that, the king has passed an order. The same sweet what they have provided to
Prepared.
king, it has to be provided to all the public in Mysore. So by then it
Oh,
has
it
been
became so
named as a
popular.
Mysore Pak, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
even ma'am, like Mysore Pak is also called as a royal sweet.
Okay. A lot of ghee is there in Mysore Pak, na? So much ghee
Actual,
is there.
yes,
Oh,
actual Mysore Pak, nobody adds oil to that, ma'am. Refined oil. It should be a
fully
pure
of
form
ghee.
of ghee. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ yes yes yes
So
but
and we
market
cannot
में
eat
ना
more than yes, ma'am.
नहीं नहीं but nowadays ना we get in the मतलब market में जो मिलता है ना that is उसमें घी का कुछ you don't have the flavor why I
Yes, ma'am.
told you because my friend he belongs to Bangalore and
Uh-huh.
he brought that Mysore pak and it was full of ghee बट जो
Yes,
हमारे
ma'am.
ऐसे लोकल शॉप्स में मिलता है ना, दैट डजंट हैव दैट घी. अच्छा, देन
That
ओके, यू कैरी ऑन.
Nandini,
हाँ.
the Mysore Pak of Nandini product, ma'am, that is the number
हम्म.
one to be you all be knowing about the Tirupati's
हाँ हाँ,
the
दिस लड्डू.
scenario.
हाँ,
Yes, ma'am, with the
सिनेरियो. हाँ
laddu.
हाँ
So the
हाँ.
problem is like they denied to take the Nandini. Means like Nandini is a government enterprise milk federation. So
हम्म.
Nandini's Mysore Paks are really good, ma'am. So I think even it is available online also. So if you book, it can come up to Odisha also, ma'am.
मतलब you can order online also, you mean
Yes,
to
yes,
say,
ma'am.
huh?
It's available, ma'am. Yeah,
हाँ,
actually,
this one.
this is how it looks, ma'am.
That I know. I
So it should.
tested just a few months ago. That's why
Uh-huh.
I'm telling. Okay, okay. I'll try to find out from online Mysore Pak, not from other shops, because other shops they don't have that ghee wala, flavor. मतलब
Yes, ma'am.
because I had it was full of my hands, fingers were full of ghee. But जो
And
market में मिलता है, they
once you
don't.
just take a bite, it
Hmm.
just drop like an alwa. So you need not to even
Ah,
bite, ma'am.
yes, yes. So soft and
Yes.
hmm.
And the famous Mysore sandal oil and Mysore sandal soaps.
These all, soaps and all. Okay, okay.
So
Everything
and
comes from there.
ma'am, in all the government function, whenever you give a return gift, so you are supposed to
अच्छा.
give this Mysore sandal soap. This isn't compulsory. This is a GO of Karnataka.
Okay, okay.
So
अच्छा,
it's
कुछ भी
kind of
function में
promotion
you give
branding.
them.
Every
It's a way
yeah,
of branding also.
yes,
Karnataka
ma'am.
soaps and okay. अच्छा, good,
It is
good.
a government enterprise, ma'am, KSDL, which comes under the medium and the large scale ministry, means like the
Hmm,
Department of Medium and Large Scale Industries.
hmm.
So this makes almost around 1,900 to 2,000 crores turnover in a year, ma'am. It's a
My
huge business.
God, business, huh? And
Yes,
they
ma'am.
are costly also. This soaps are costly. Mysore
But
sandal soaps and
and one thing, ma'am, you are allowed to go and see their operation also. Means like many of them, they think they doesn't even add the sandal oil, or they doesn't even have this
uh,
proper sandal one. It might be adulterated,
hmm,
all those things they say.
hmm,
That
hmm,
is the reason. Whenever you want, you can register yourself in the website of KSDL, and they'll give a
hmm.
slot, and you can go and see their manufacturing, how they pack, how they
Okay,
work,
okay.
everything you can see.
Acha. So anyone can go. Only they have to register. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like it's
okay.
a kind of a platform through their
Uh,
website. You can book. So they'll give a
acha,
slot.
got it. Right.
It shows on which all of the days it's available.
Hmm.
And even Karnataka Soaps and Detergents Limited, they have come up with a diversified course of action. Like they have 10 to 12 varieties of hand wash liquids. They have soaps also. They are
Okay,
coming up with
okay.
a lot of varieties.
Uh,
And even in all our KSTDC properties, ma'am, we are supposed to take the soaps only from KSDL, not from any other soaps. We are not supposed to place.
okay, okay, got it. So that's really nice.
And and there is a beetle leaf, ma'am. So this is very
Ah,
famous for the beetle leaves also. Karnataka's beetle leaf, especially the Mysore beetle leaf, is very famous.
different from the other betel leaves. Mysore betel leaf is different from the other. I mean, taste different.
Yeah, it actually tastes different, ma'am. The
Acha.
sweetness, and there will be kind of pungent also will be there, ma'am. It's a kind of
Right.
when you just bite
Bitterness, little bit of.
yeah, when you just bite half half peppercorn, how the spiciness will be there. It will be like that, ma'am.
Okay, okay, good.
So in Mysore city itself, it is having almost 500 acres, ma'am. So they
Hmm,
grow, and there is a oldest market of South Asia, that is the Devaraja market, that is in Mysore.
hmm.
So it is a ASI site, ma'am. Inside that we
Approved.
have a
Acha.
market. Yeah, inside that there is a
Okay,
market.
okay, right.
So usually they have a complete section for only for the beetle leaf, ma'am.
That's. Hmm.
And
So these are
Mysuru
some.
Ganjifa cards, what we say. So it's a
Hmm.
kind of card which is done kind of embroidery works kind of they do, and it's all will be on an ivory board, ma'am. So these shapes and
Okay.
all will be on either on ivory board or not in on
Hmm.
sandalwood board, ma'am.
So these are all paintings, like.
Yes, ma'am. It's all paintings one, ma'am.
So these are how much priced usually? Like you
Ma'am,
can gift
usually
also to.
the first one what I showed, it goes up to more than 12 to 13,000 rupees. The original products, it goes up to 10 to 12,000.
No, suppose if you want to gift to someone, but minimum kitna usually comes? 12,
मिनिमम
thirteen
तो
thousand
थ्री
is
थाउजेंड से शुरू होता है मैम, 3,000 से शुरू होता है.
अच्छा अच्छा 3,000. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. And Mysore Jasmine, you all will be knowing about this. And
Okay,
it's very
huh, huh.
famous.
Okay, this is for the bridegrooms and all, huh?
Yes, ma'am. For even for all rituals and all functions, we use this one, ma'am. And
Mm-hmm.
during season, it goes too costlier, and
Mm.
unseasons it will be much cheaper, ma'am. But there's a lot of demand for Mysore Mallige. Mallige means
Mysore
jasmine.
jasmine. हाँ, जस अच्छा okay, jasmine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And this is Mysore traditional paintings also. They are very famous, and
हाँ,
there are a lot of emporiums like Kaveri Handicrafts Emporium, where
हाँ.
we can take. It's a kind of showcase and purchase platform also, ma'am. So this is
So
there,
you
and
you
one.
have this handicraft shops where will you get all these paintings and all,
Yeah,
right?
yes, ma'am. In Mysore region, even in Karnataka, there are a lot of places they provide such kind of handicrafts.
Paintings. Okay.
Painting them, and they even
Mhm.
it comes under the souvenir shops also, and we have a separate
Hmm.
ministry also for this, ma'am, in Karnataka.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And this is Mysore rosewood inlay we have. So it is kind
Huh,
of this one rosewood inlay.
huh,
It is like you'll get a clean sheet of rosewood
hmm,
platform. So in
hmm,
that they'll just take off they'll peel off the design, and they
hmm.
inlay the white material inside that.
Portion.
It's not, yeah, it's
Okay.
not a painting. They'll
Huh.
just do the artwork in that, and they inlay that one. So it is called that too. It will be done only in the rosewood, ma'am. The one what
But
is
this is
holding.
very expensive. This is
Yeah,
very expensive.
the same thing I came to tell you, ma'am. It will be almost around 60K, ma'am. This one painting will go up to 60,000.
60,000.
Yes, ma'am. When last time when PM Narendra Modi sir came in Karnataka,
Hmm,
we have
hmm.
from Department
Yeah,
of Tourism we have given one
this, huh?
presentation.
But these
Yes.
are usually huge, huge in size.
The
What
smaller
are
one
the
is also
sizes like?
available, ma'am. The
The
smaller one is
sizes
also there.
कितना है?
One by one is also available.
Okay. So these are all showpieces, huh?
Yes, ma'am. It's all showpieces, and many of them they take, ma'am. You won't believe actually, even especially in government offices in.
Ah, they have. I have seen. Government
Yes, ma'am.
offices, they keep it as, yes, all
Yes,
those
ma'am.
circuit houses and all they have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So
yes.
this is all about the
Thank you.
Mysore presentation,
So
ma'am.
that was a
And
nice, you share
I
it in
just told
the WhatsApp group. That was really nice.
actually
Any questions?
it was in a
Hmm.
very short notice, ma'am. I think if there is anything wrong from my end, I'm
I mean, no,
extremely
no,
sorry.
this is, see, this is a thing we really enjoyed. That is how you share your informations. Any of y'all have any questions? You can ask him, and
I'll just show you a video, ma'am. Then later we
uh,
will, because it's
okay, okay,
almost
sure.
7:30.
Uh,
I'll just show you.
uh. So you are still in your office, right?
Yeah, I'm still at my office, ma'am.
Hmm.
I think you have a.
We could hear the, अभी sound नहीं आ रहा. I think sound का ये है. This is the city, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That is Chamon Hill, some hills. This is palace. Oh, beautiful. That's the Mysore Palace. Huh. Wow, it was beautiful.
How was
It
it,
was
ma'am?
really nice. It was really nice. We only couldn't, I think, it was great. We enjoyed. So nice. All of
Thank
you
you, ma'am.
enjoyed, I believe. Thank you, Mr. Manoj. It was, the way you explained, plus these two videos you showed, PPTs and the videos. Any of y'all? I believe everyone enjoyed, huh?
Yes, ma'am. It was
Oh.
nice.
It was really very nice and
Yeah.
insightful
Very
information.
informative actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. That was really nice. We all enjoyed. We really enjoyed Mr. Manoj, and I think
It was my
that's
pleasure, ma'am. I'll do one thing, ma'am. I'll just share the slides also and share that video also.
yes, yes. Please do.
So
Okay,
if
and got
anybody,
so much
if anybody in the
information.
yeah, ma'am, if anybody in the team, if they are willing to visit Mysore, so
They will
for any
contact you.
assistance,
Yes, yes.
yeah, ma'am, please anytime.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Manoj, we
Mr.
will contact you
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
See, you
Anytime,
will
and
be
even
and we will
there is a
visit your
promotion for us also. We'll promote our tourism
we
there.
will yes. We will
the.
visit your
So if
Nandi Hills
anybody is planning, you can
resort.
plan for 23rd of this
See,
month, ma'am. Like
Miss
it's a government
Minal has
sponsored
already
project.
made a plan to visit. So, okay, you are promoting your destination. that that was really superb. We really enjoyed. I hope everybody in the class enjoyed today. Okay, and thank you. So, if you have any questions and all, I think tomorrow we'll have our all discussion together. Okay, and anything else you wanted to share, any of your, please, tomorrow we have a day you can share. Okay, Mrs. Minal, if you wanted to share anything, please do. Okay, something
No,
related
ma'am,
to
nothing. Nothing.
nothing.
Uh,
Okay, okay. Uh, that's lovely. I mean, thank you once again, Mr. Manoj. So have a good day, all of you. Okay, enjoy your day. Okay,
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you then.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr.
Thank
Manoj.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Oh, okay.